ChatGPT image model has been pretty interesting lately, starting all the way from generating Ghibli-style cartoon, all the way to generating full-fledged perspective rendering just from a plane. Now, this starts to beg the question, can ChatGPT design interiors for me? And I happen to have a perfect specimen to put this theory to test. My partner and I recently acquired a property that requires a bit of renovation before we move in. So we're going to be using ChatGPT to design the interior style for various rooms throughout the house. And in this video, I'm going to show you the prompts that I found is very useful for this exercise, and also share how you can scale this to rapidly generate different iterations and compare them at the record speed. So hope you're excited. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are on ChatGPT, and we're going to add in some images to get started. So the first space I want to explore is the living room. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in an image. So just so you understand the current condition, this is what the living room looks like at the moment. There isn't like a unifying style or anything like that. There are 3 different types of chairs in the scene, and none of them really jives with the space or other pieces of furniture around the room. So my goal here is to come up with a vision that is like really well designed throughout and has a very consistent design language. So let's see what ChatGPT can do. Okay, and here's the prompt that we're going to be using. So after testing a little bit, this is the best prompt I got so far. So I'm first assigning the role of an interior designer to ChatGPT and giving some additional instructions on top of that. So one of them is not making any structural changes, because in this example, all I'm really trying to do is just remodel the interior. I can't physically change like the ceiling height or the location of the windows. So I'll be asking ChatGPT to keep those exactly the same. And I want to apply Scandinavian interior design style. So right now, I'm not even sure what kind of style this is, but this is what it looks like right now. And I want this to be more modern and Scandinavian. So let's see what that does. I'll fast forward this part so that you don't have to wait. But I find that this takes about a minute or 2, depending on the load on ChatGPT. Okay, here we have it. So it's actually looking pretty good. I can see that most of the room structure is pretty much the same. I see that there is some distortion in terms of the dimensions. So for example, the room looks a little bit shorter than before, but aside from that, the location of the window is about the same. And I see that the wall's still here. In terms of the quality, if you're an interior designer, you probably don't want to present this to your client. But as a homeowner who wants to do some DIY or hire a contractor directly, I think this could be a really useful exercise. So I can see that one of the sofas have been removed, and instead it's been replaced with this little armchair. That's really nice. And all the furniture and the floor type all looks very Scandinavian. I like that. That's pretty cool. And they went ahead and added this little picture frames here and there. And it's actually pretty cool. I think this is the type of space I would really enjoy. And I also really appreciate that they maintained the wooden wall over here, because that is not something that I was planning to remodel. So that's perfect. Okay, so let's move on to the next big space. So I'm also curious how ChatGPT will handle the kitchen area as well. So the current kitchen setup is looking like this. It's a bit of a mess. Like all the cabinetries are pretty outdated. And I'm not really a big fan of this current style. Like these dark wood cabinets and the floor pattern, obviously, it's not something that I want to keep. So I'm looking for some alternatives and what this space might look in a Scandinavian interior design style. And on top of that, I'm hoping that the AI will also go ahead and remove some of the clutter that's scattered all over the house. So let's see how that goes. I will also add a little timer so that you can see exactly how long it's taking. Okay, there we have it. It took a little while, maybe almost 2 minutes, but the result is looking pretty good. I like how ChatGPT maintained the overall structure of the room. So as you can see, we have this L-shaped kitchen counter over here, and the location of the appliances are the same as well. So the fridge over there, dishwasher and all that. It's looking really good. I think the number of the cabinet bays have changed a little bit, and it doesn't extend all the way, but honestly, like, I'm pretty okay with this. I'm just looking for like an overall look and feel. and whether I want to proceed in this direction. So as like a homeowner, I can just probably hand this off to the contractor and then let them figure out the exact dimensions and constructability of this space. So this could be a really useful tool for those working without like a professional interior designer. It might be really good for small projects like these. Definitely won't recommend for like a new build. You probably can't use this for like, construction project, but yes, definitely a really sweet tool to play with. Now I want to repeat this process for many different rooms. I want to try this in the bedroom. I want to try this in the bathroom as well as the hallway. But as you can see, if you have many rooms to go through, this might take a little bit of time, especially since each image takes about 2 minutes. And if you want to go through like 10 images, that's like almost like 30 minutes out of your life. So that was one of the pain points I felt as I was working on this little project. And that's why I created this little tool just mostly for myself. But I figured maybe someone who is watching this might find it useful. So I will also make this available. Okay, so if you want to try this, you can head over to imaginterior.com and go over to the stylize option. I'm also planning to add some more features down the road, so make sure to keep an eye out. It's a very simple website. There's really not much going on. The only feature that's really available is the stylize option, which is basically what I was doing just now. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in some image that we just saw. And what's cool is that you can select multiple images at once. So this is really helpful for bulk editing. So I'm going to do that. This bedroom as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open up all these images. These are a total of 5 images. And I also find that specifying the room type works pretty well usually. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I don't find that this is completely required. So once you have added all your images, you can go over to the next one. And in terms of the style, there are a few predefined styles that I've added. And if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments as well. But if you want to provide your own instruction and just ignore the style tab, you can just choose custom and write something here as well. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and go with Scandinavian because that's what I was doing earlier. So once the style is ready, you can just go ahead and generate the results. And I also want to demonstrate how quick this is. So I find that this is a little bit faster than using ChatGPT. So let's see how long it takes. And we're generating total of 5 images. So let's say if we took like, 2 minutes per image, this task would have taken 10 minutes on ChatGPT. And boom, wow. So as you can see, it took around like 30 seconds and it has generated all these images without you even having to type any instructions. And you are pretty much free to download these images to your desktop completely for free. And we also keep track of all the images that you had generated thus far, so you can always go back and review them. And one of the reasons why I created this is because this makes it really easy for me to test out different styles. So for example, if I go into stylize and I can change this to, let's say, mid-century modern and repeat the whole process in bulk, just like that. And we can also try timing this as well. Okay, there we go, around 30 seconds again. Oh yeah, and we also keep track of the exact amount of time it took to generate each image, so you can really compare the performance differences. And yeah, and this also makes it really easy for me to compare the two styles, just like that. So I really appreciate this. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions, I'm also more than happy to add them here. So my goal right now is to make this tool available to as many people as possible. So it'll be free to use when you first get into it. But because running these models do cost a little bit of money, it'll require a bit of payment down the road. I think there are plenty of new use cases to be found out there, but personally, I found this to be very useful when I'm trying to brainstorm for different interior design styles for the property that I'm renovating. Even though the measurements aren't accurate, I think being able to get that look and feel for the spaces really gives me a confidence as to which direction I should be moving towards, and it makes it really easy for me to communicate with the contractors. Now for professionals such as architects or interior designers, the images that are coming out of these tools may not be ready for clients. However, I think it might actually be interesting to share this tool with the clients so that they can do some explorations on their own. Because I find that a lot of non-professional clients don't exactly know what they want when they come to you. And it might be really good for them to do some self-exploration on their own time without having to use up your billable hours. This will make the communications a lot more smooth and also make your services more affordable for the clients. Now, if you would like to learn about more use cases to use ChatGPT in interior design and architecture purposes, check out the recommended video and playlist. So overall, what do you guys think? Do you think AI can design interiors for you? Or is it something that'll never happen in the future? Let me know in the comments because I'm really curious about what you think. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.